Zdravo in dobrodošli Linkoshna Cerkev. Welcome, and as most of you know, I am an American student working here with the local church, and I actually have the privilege this morning to share a little message to the women, but Jesus' words are for all, and I think we could all get a lot out of what I might share today. Now, I want to focus on what it means to be ultimately obedient to Jesus and his calling of us in our lives. I want to read from the passage, Matthew 4:18-22. It says, "While walking by the Sea of Galilee, he, being Jesus, saw two brothers, Simon, who was called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea. They were fishermen, and he said to them, 'Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men.' Immediately they left their nets and followed him. And going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in the boat with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets, and he called them. Immediately they left their boat and their father and followed him." Now, the three main points that I got out of this are found in the last sentence. Immediately they left their boat and their father and followed after him. Now, the first point that I want to share is the disciples' immediate response. Why would they have an immediate response to Jesus? Why did the disciples have this reaction when he spoke to them? Now, I first thought maybe it's because he was a very persuasive man. He did promise them good things. "I will make you fishers of men." But I think that the reaction goes a lot deeper than just the words Jesus spoke to them. I believe that they recognized the character of God in Jesus, and their response was likely due to that. Acts 10:38 says, "God anointed Jesus with the Holy Spirit and with power. He went about doing good and healing all who were oppressed by the devil, for God was with him." So we know God was with Jesus, and Jesus is God, and the disciples recognized that when he spoke to them. We could do the same thing, have that immediate reaction. Now, the second and third point that I like to bring up is that the disciples virtually left everything for Jesus. They left their own family behind, and they left their only line of work. Now, the father figure that we hear James and John leaving are, all father figures in the biblical time period were a symbol of the greatest opinion in a person's life that they based most of their actions off of. How he thought about them, what he told them to do, etc., etc. Now, for us in this time period, that looks like maybe our family, our parents, our friends, or a spouse or significant other could be a representation of that opinion as well. And we need to recognize that God is even greater, and his opinions of us are even more important than our family and friends and loved ones. Matthew 10:37 says, "Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me." And this just shows the depth that we need to love God at, because he still calls us to love our family, but he calls us to love him so much more. Now, even with the disciples leaving their only job and their only line of work behind, we might ask, how could they have afforded to do that? But my question to you is, how could they have afforded to reject Jesus? We need to focus on the fact that they trusted Jesus to care for them when they left their only line of work and everything they had behind. Matthew 7:11 says, "So then if evil people know how to give good gifts to their children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good gifts to you?" The disciples recognized the character of Jesus, and they knew that he would care for them, and that's why they had that immediate response to leave. Now, with all of this head knowledge, we need to make it heart knowledge by acting out in this way. So I'm going to give you 3 practical tips that we should just do now that we know this information. The first one is, when Jesus tells you to do something, respond immediately. The second one is that we need to listen to God's opinion above everyone else's in our lives. He holds the most value, and He knows what is going to happen in our lives, and He has good plans for us, so we can rest assured that He will care for us. And that means that we need to trust Jesus above everything else as well, because He's a good God. Thank you so much.